Nothing but confusion goes on in Babylon. Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And as always, I would like to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to do a video on an article that I found here on RT.com. Okay, mice with two fathers created in a lab. And this is nothing but confusion. And once again, we have Esau Edom coming with his pseudoscience. You know, him coming with this ideology and this philosophy that the proper order, the proper righteous order and everything which the Lord have set up is wrong, and that what he's doing is right. You know, now in the beginning, you know, the ahchyam, the powers, the gods, which were angels, okay, Yahweh Shai and his elect men, when they were creating the heavens and the earth after receiving the blueprint on you know, what was to be created, they said, let there be light. Okay, and they saw the light that it was what? It was good. It was meet to serve its purpose. And then of course, you know, going into the book of Genesis, it tells you that the earth was without form and was a void. Okay. And then, you know, they separated the waters from inside the void from the waters outside. Well, the waters inside the void, you know, they gathered into one place. But you know, then came the earth, the grass, the trees, and all of the creations, the animals, you know, the great whales, which is going into them sea monsters, okay? Great whales, you know, the fowls of the air, the stars of heaven, the sun, the moon. And they saw all these things that it was good, meaning that it was meet to serve its purpose. Okay? And then came, you know, Adam and Eve, which, you know, Adam was really, you know, a nation of men, and Eve were a nation of women. But even amongst Adam, there was a chosen line. They were called the sons of God. Okay? And what did the ahchyam say to Adam and Eve? They said, be fruitful and multiply. Okay? So obviously, the ahchyam, the gods, they saw that a man and a woman getting together to have sex, which constitute, you know, a marriage between a man and a woman, you know, and the child that will come out of that woman would constitute the marriage between a man and a woman. Because of that child came what? The seed of that man that was nourished inside the belly of that woman. So when the ahchyam created the woman, and they created the vagina, you know, they created the man, they created a rod, they saw that it was good. They saw that sex between man and woman was good. It was meet to serve its purpose, which was what? To bring forth life. But here it is. We got the devil. Okay, we got the devil himself, the Edomites, coming with their pseudoscience and saying, nah, that can't be right. You know, that can't be right. This is how it was meant to be. So now we're dealing with a mice with two fathers created in a lab. Now, even animals, when they're born of a mother, right? You know, thanks to their father, you know, immediate, you know, once they come to, you know, consciousness and, you know, they start to, you know, understand that there's an opposite sex out there and that they have to repropriate to create more of their kind. Then what? They go out there, they find a mate, and they have children. But how the hell is a mice with two fathers supposed to find an opposite sex to repropriate with, to give life to his kind, when he's being raised by two fathers? See, the mice is going to be confused now. He's not going to understand ultimately what his purpose is. Okay? The scriptures tell you that when ahchyam created every creature, they created every creature after his kind. Okay? Created he male and female. So there is an opposite sex to every creature on the planet. If there's a male lion, there's a female lion. If there's a male tiger, there's a female tiger. If there's a male dog, there's a female dog. If there's a male wolf, there's a female wolf. If there's a male shark, there's a female shark. So everything was created in perfect union and harmony. But you see, when the devil comes up in a rulership, then everything starts to become backwards. And that's why when we go to Isaiah 29 verse 16, it says this. Isaiah 29 and 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And here's an example of the wicked turning things upside down. And when I say the wicked, when I say the Edomites, I'm speaking of the so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers, who have control over the whole planet. And I'm also talking about the rest of their nation of people. Okay, they are the Edomites. And the Edomites are also known as the wicked. Okay? And what the wicked have done is, when they got into rulership, they started developing this mindset, this idea of how to do everything contrary to what the Bible says. So instead of a male and a female coming together, they want to see two males and two females come together, which is nothing but confusion. Nothing but confusion. Okay? So now the mice is going to grow up thinking that it's okay for two males to get together. Two male mice to get together. A total disaster. Okay? Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. That's why there's pork on the market. That's why the woman is the head of the household. Okay? That's why the water is contaminated. That's why you're not allowed to discipline your children if they do something wrong. Because the wicked is in rulership and they have turned everything upside down. That's why the man is being effeminized while the female is being masculine. You see? You got men worshiping women when it actually the women should be worshiping the man. Okay, we are their lords. They should be worshiping us. But no, you got simps out there who just, they see a big piece of buns behind a woman and a pretty face, and immediately they fall head over hell. They fall head over heels. They get into ultimate simp mode. Start chasing after some stinking box that they will probably never even get to hit. But you see, this is the society we live in. Furthermore, when you look into the word Babylon, it goes back to the Hebrew word babal, which means confusion. And when you break down the word confusion, which is a compound word, you'll find out that confusion is two words when you break it down. C-O-N, which means together or with. Then you got the word fusion, which is where you get fuse from. So confusion means to mix together. And all of these ideologies that is being presented to you in Babylon, one way, form, shape, or fashion, it is a mixture of many different philosophies from the many different kingdoms that were on the planet. Okay, Christmas. That's not a Roman Empire holiday. Christmas actually goes all the way back to Nimrod. That's the original Christmas right there. And then Constantine made it a holiday. You see, Easter goes all the way back to Ishtar. You see, the idea of eating unclean foods. The Hamites started doing that, eating unclean foods, human sacrifices. Okay, wasn't that not going on in ancient Babylon? Wasn't that not going on under the Persian and the Medes rulership? Was that not going on when amongst the Philistines? These different idols and false gods that the Illuminati worship, these are deities that come from these different nations. The fish Dagon hat, the long dreads, which really go back to Shiva. The dreads was supposed to be a representation of serpents, snakes, okay? You can even put Medusa in there, okay? Medusa, because Medusa, right? They would show her hair as being like a pair of snakes. Nah, man, nah. Medusa really go back to a so-called Hamitic deity, okay? Because I remember them Hamites, they used to do that little dread shit too, okay? They'll lock up their hairs, they'll put all kind of vile and all kind of sick stuff in their hair, to where their hair will be like a doo-doo brown color. They'll have like them super thick dreadlocks though. It'd be like, they dreadlocks will be big and brolic, but kind of like serpents, big and brolic, right? Coming all the way down to the middle of their back. Medusa. You see what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. So the word confusion means a mixing together. And that's Babylon. Babylon is a mixing together of these many different philosophies and Babylon is a big melting pot, a big mixing together of many different philosophies and ideologies from many different nations of the past. That's why you come over here to Babylon, you can worship Buddha, you can worship Jesus Christ, okay, you can worship Ashtoreth, you can worship Murdoch, you can worship Mecca. You could worship Allah. You could be a Islamic. You could be a Moor. You could be a black conscious person. You could be a Egyptian. You could be a Moor. So Babylon is no more than a big mixing together of false gods and fables and philosophies and ideologies from many different nations from the past. And that's why this place is called the country of confusion. So it says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed of him that framed it, he have no understanding? You know, so this devil, you know, he's over here creating mice with two male fathers. Two fathers. A mice with two fathers created in the lab. And this is a experimental mouse, an experimental mice. A mice with two fathers created in a lab. That mice is a living abomination. You know, of course they're going, oh look, no, it ain't us, it's the Japanese. But who did they get that idea from? Japanese people was not into this kind of sick experiments. They got into that shit because Esau came up into power and started, you know, gene splicing and mixing DNAs, and you know, Esau started that shit. Yeah, I'm talking about the so-called elites. Through these different scientists they hired, they started all that gene splicing and mixing seeds and all that. That's why there's a creature out there called I think it's called the Libra. Am I saying that right? Libra? No, it's called the Liger, which is a lion, a half-breed tiger, a liger, which is a creature where a male lion was breeded with a female tiger. And what came out of that female tiger? A creature that was half lion and half tiger, which didn't even live very long. You see what I mean? Crossbreeding, human experimentations, all that goes on here in Babylon, which is complete confusion. So here it is, we got a liger walking around. He doesn't know what the fuck he is. He don't even know what his purpose is. You know, he has internal organ issues. And then on top of that, he's dying within what, 2 or 3 years after being born? Maybe even 4 years after being born? His lifespan is cut in half. Because he's not a full breed of his own kind. And that's why, like it tells you in 1 Corinthians the 15th chapter. Okay, let's get First Corinthians. You want to know why a liger does not live as long as because lions can live up to 15, 20 years, but a liger, a half lion, half tiger breed dies after 4, 6 years after being born. There's a reason for that, though. Of course, it's not found. Chapter 15. I was just typing 20. Central F, let's type in flesh. Okay, here we go. This is why you're not supposed to crossbreed animals. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 39. All flesh is not the same flesh. You see that? All flesh is not the same flesh. But there is one kind of flesh of men. So you're not supposed to crossbreed men with animals, right? Then that you committed an abominable act. Okay, so there's one flesh of men, another flesh of beasts. You see that? And when it says another flesh of beasts, it literally means just that. Okay. So there's one kind of flesh of men and another flesh of beasts, right? That's why, a person can eat grapes, but if you was to give grapes to a dog or a cat, don't you know it will kill them? Okay, it will shut off their liver. Okay, they might have. They might end up peeing blood, So grapes are toxic to cats and dogs, but yet we people, we can eat grapes and we'll be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, we benefit from it. You see? Same thing with olives and onions. Cats and dogs cannot eat olives or onions because their insides, their liver, how an animal body functions is not the same as how a human being's body functions. You see, what's toxic to an animal might actually be good for us. Okay? Like you got crabs and lobsters, right? Like as it says here, another of fishes. You got crabs and lobsters. All they do is eat the poop, the algae, and the bacteria in the oceans. If we was to eat that, we would get sick and die. So even everything has its own perfect role. You see that? So you can't go crossbreeding a deer with a zebra. Because even amongst the beast family, every animal has their own type of functions. Zebras are not necessarily violent creatures, They're more docile. They like to eat grass, they stick in packs. But hyenas, they seem like the more troublesome kind, They like to go around stealing the prey of others, while lions, they hunt down and eat their prey whenever they're hungry, starving, Hippos, they like to chill. They're very territorial, Snakes, they like to use subtlety to catch their prey. They prefer stealth whenever they moving about the jungle or out in the Amazon. So not every creature has the same functions. You see? And even amongst the sea life, you got sea creatures in the seas that basically shelter other fishes from their prey. Meanwhile, you got jellyfishes. They have no eyes, they have no nose, and they have no ears. And yet, they're some of the most deadliest creatures in the oceans. And by the way, the jellyfish is my most favorite sea creature. I love jellyfishes. Okay, you even got jellyfishes that give off these beautiful lights. When it's dark in the ocean, they give off these beautiful lights. You know, jellyfishes can be dangerous, man. You can die. You can die around jellyfishes, man. But you see, even amongst the sea creature classes, not all fishes are the same kind. That's why the Lord tell you, don't eat things in the seas that do not have fins or scales. You don't know what catfishes be eating down there. That's why you don't eat it. We know fishes with fins and scales, for the most part, they either eat other fishes or they feed on plants in the oceans, such as kelp or coral. Okay, and then it says, and another of birds. Okay, you got scavengers that eat roadkill, dead animals that died of itself. You see, but then you might have something like a pigeon or a dove that they live on worms. But the point is that not all flesh is of the same flesh. So all that crossbreeding is going off. You over here crossbreeding a turkey with a chicken. Like, what is you doing? But that's why we have to hurry up and get up out of this kingdom, man. Because if not, man, we'll probably be seeing a human pig soon. A person with the head of a pig, but he has the body of a human. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a video on this confusion here. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. Is on to the next one.